Welcome to another vPros Inc. 3-slide presentation. I'm Glenn Ford, and I'd like to welcome you today. Now, the 3-slide presentations are a series of presentations taking less than 10 minutes and involving 3 slides at most on a project management topic. We'll do a bit of a commercial here before we start. vPros Inc. is a project management consultancy located here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We are involved in implementing project management offices. We can provide a virtual project management office. We can train project managers, or we can carry out your project management requirements in either a consulting or a contracting mode. You can find out more information on us at vpros.ca on the web. While you're there, please check out our new book, How to Document a Project Plan, which is available through Amazon.com. Now, today's presentation is when do you need a professional? When do you need a professional project manager? Now, the problem is that many small businesses and entrepreneurs need to run projects. But how do you do that? The answer is usually to hire a project manager. But many of them can't afford to hire a full-time project manager. They simply don't have enough projects being run to justify having someone around who isn't going to be fully occupied. So what's the solution? Well, there's a couple of different possible solutions. The first is for the entrepreneur or the partners to run the projects. Now, while this works for many of the smallest organizations, as the organization grows, it's not a very wise way to spend the entrepreneurs or partners' times. Their time is much better spent focusing on what's happening in the environment around them and determining where the organization needs to go, and ensuring that the operational managers are carrying out their duties as required. Now, the second possibility is to simply give the project to one of the operational managers. Let an operational manager run the project. And while this works for many small projects, in fact, it doesn't work very well. You see, the skill set of an operational manager is focused on keeping teams functioning over the long haul. They take an existing team, keep it running, expand it, shrink it, but make it as efficient as possible. They take a small set of tasks and keep them running over a long period of time, slowly implementing incremental repairs to ensure that they are running as efficiently as possible. A project manager, on the other hand, is focused on building a team. He brings together a number of people who probably have never worked together before, focuses them together, helps them to develop a team, helps them to identify the tasks that need to be done, and there's usually a large number of varying tasks, none of which repeat, or which very seldom repeat, helps them to schedule all of these disparate tasks, and then helps them to monitor and manage the tasks, and eventually to close down the whole process, to disband the team, and to finish and finalize the project itself. So a project manager is focused on the birth and the death of the project, whereas an operational manager is focused on the living of the project. Now, of course, one of the options is always to hire a project manager, even if you're not going to be utilizing them full-time. And in some cases, this may work well. But a fourth alternative is to engage a consulting project manager. Now, this may be someone who is going to actually run the full project, or it may be someone who's going to provide the extra skills and the different focus of skills, while the operational manager or a junior person is actually running the actual project. So they provide extra skills that are required. The only question is, when do you need to bring in a consulting project manager? After all, you don't want the consultant to be there all the time. It's not efficient. It's not effective use of your money. So, when do you need a professional project manager? Well, the first situation is whenever the project is very complex. If it involves a large number of tasks which are unique and yet which are related to each other, especially if you're running multiple streams where this set of tasks is being run at the same time that this set of tasks is being run, and they need to coordinate with each other. Professional project managers have a number of technical skills which they bring to the table, which allow them to coordinate such tasks. The second situation is whenever a project is strategic. Many projects are focused on changing an organization. They're focused on reorganizing the organization so that it can meet the future. Unfortunately, these projects often involve large-scale change to the individuals within the organization, and most people don't like change. A professional project manager is familiar with implementing change within an organization, and whenever you want to create a strategic project, you may want to get a professional project manager involved in order to assist with this change. The third option is whenever the project is pervasive. As an organization grows, it begins to split up into specialties. One person will do a particular set of tasks, another person will do another set of tasks. As the organization continues to grow, a team will be developed to do a particular set of tasks, and another team will develop to do a different set of tasks. These teams often don't talk across the teams. Their focus is on inside the teams, and they create, naturally enough, a silo. This is normal, this is natural. It's not good for the organization, but it is normal. A professional project manager is well skilled in being able to cross these silos, in gathering people from each of the silos, bringing them together, getting them to form a cohesive team to accomplish a task. In addition, of course, there's always the political situation where one silo doesn't like the idea of another person being put in charge of the project. By bringing in a professional, you can avoid many of those political situations. And the fourth situation is whenever a project is so important that failure is not an option. Now, this can occur because the money involved is so high that the organization can't take the loss involved should the project fail. It can also occur because the benefits to be received from the project are so high that the organization can't afford to allow it to fail. Reputation can also cause this situation. If the failure of the project would damage the reputation in the eyes of its customers to the point where the organization wouldn't be able to survive. Fourth possibility is in the case of a compliance issue. Again, the organization has to be successful in implementing whatever the new law is, because otherwise it's going to be charged or it's going to find itself faced with some form of penalty as associated with the lack of compliance. If any of these situations occur, then you need to bring in a professional project manager. Now, you can hire them full-time if you have enough of these projects, or you can bring in a contractor or a consultant to perform these projects for you. Now, I hope you've learned a lot. I hope you've found the presentation useful, and I hope you'll return for the next presentation. My name is Glenn Ford. Have a good day.